Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Munmun Bhattacharya. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's External Affairs Ministry expresses concern over hostility against minorities in Bangladesh, condemns recent killings of Hindu youths in the country, says perpetrators of the crime must be brought to justice. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with PM Rashtriya Baal Puraskar awardees on Veer Baal Diwas, thrusts responsibility of making India developed by 2047 on the Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Malaysia's former Prime Minister Najib Razak found guilty of abuse of power and money laundering in One Malaysia Development Berhad scandal. India's Ministry of External Affairs has expressed serious concern over attacks on Hindus and other minorities in Bangladesh. MEA spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal, responding to questions on anti-India rhetoric in Bangladesh, said India has rejected such narrative being spread in Bangladesh.
Rejected the false narrative that has been projected in Bangladesh. You would understand that law and order or security situation or the developments that are happening in Bangladesh is the responsibility of the government of Bangladesh, and to portray a narrative where things go in some other direction is completely false, and we reject that.
The MEA spokesperson also said India is closely monitoring the situation and described the continued hostility against minorities, including attacks by extremist elements, as a matter of grave concern. The MEA also noted over 2,900 cases of atrocities, including killings, arson and land grabbing, have been recorded during the tenure of Bangladesh's interim government.
We are all aware of the recent developments in Bangladesh. We have been closely following them, and as far as law and order situation is concerned, I have been apprising you from time to time as to what our position has been or should be and is today. The unremitting hostility against minorities in Bangladesh, including Hindus, Christians and Buddhists, at the hands of extremists is a matter of grave concern. We condemn the recent gruesome killing of a Hindu youth in Mymensingh and expect that the perpetrators of the crime would be brought to justice. Over 2,900 incidents of violence against minorities, including cases of killings, arsons, land grab, have been documented by independent sources during the tenure of the interim government.
A 30-year-old youth, Amrit Mondal, also known as Samrat, was killed by a mob on Wednesday night in Bangladesh's Rajabari district over alleged extortion. Police rescued him in critical condition, but he died at the Pancha Upzila Health Complex around 2 in the morning. Authorities arrested his associate Muhammad Salim and recovered firearms. Samrat was reportedly a gang leader with multiple criminal cases, including murder. The incident occurred when locals caught him attempting to extort a villager, prompting a mob attack. An investigation is ongoing. President Draupadi Murmu conferred the Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Baal Puraskar in New Delhi on the occasion of Veer Baal Diwas. President Murmu conferred the prestigious awards to 20 children from 18 states for their exceptional achievements in the fields of bravery, social service, environment, sports, art, culture and science and technology. Addressing the event, President Murmu congratulated the recipients of the Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Baal Puraskar. She also spoke about the opportune moment and how the country takes honor in celebrating the pride of the nation.
जिस देश के बच्चे देश प्रेम की भावना और ऊंचे आदर्श से भरे होते हैं, उस देश की मानवता सुनिश्चित रहती है। ऐसे प्रतिभाशाली बच्चों के बल पर भारत को विश्व पटल पर चेस पावर हाउस माना जा रहा है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday interacted with the PM Rashtriya Baal Puraskar awardees on the occasion of Veer Baal Diwas at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. He thrusted the responsibility of making India developed by 2047 on the Gen Z and Gen Alpha. PM Modi participated in the national program marking Veer Baal Diwas held in New Delhi. He said the youth today have immense opportunities and fora to display their talent. Addressing the event, Prime Minister said that every citizen should know the tales of the Sahibzade's sacrifices.
साहिबजादों के बलिदान की गाथा देश में जन जन की जुबान पर होनी चाहिए थी, लेकिन दुर्भाग्य से आजादी के बाद भी देश में गुलामी की मानसिकता हावी रही। जिस गुलामी की मानसिकता का बीज अंग्रेज राजनेता मैकाले ने 1835 में बोया था, उस मानसिकता से देश को आजादी के बाद भी मुक्त नहीं होने दिया गया। इसलिए आजादी के बाद भी देश में दशकों तक ऐसी सच्चाइयों को दबाने की कोशिश की गई, लेकिन साथियों, अब भारत ने तय किया है कि गुलामी की मानसिकता से मुक्ति पानी ही होगी।
Prime Minister Modi also said that India's youth are at the heart of the nation's development, with new policies and platforms creating opportunities to build skills, leadership and innovation.
आज युवाओं के सशक्तिकरण को ध्यान में रखकर नई पॉलिसी बनाई जा रही है। युवाओं को राष्ट्र निर्माण के केंद्र में रखा गया है। मेरा युवा भारत ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से युवाओं को जोड़ने, उन्हें अवसर देने और उनमें लीडरशिप स्किल विकसित कराने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है। स्पेस इकोनॉमी को आगे बढ़ाना, खेलों को प्रोत्साहित करना, फिनटेक और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर को विस्तार देना, स्किल डेवलपमेंट और इंटर्नशिप के अवसर तैयार करना, इस तरह के हर प्रयास के केंद्र में मेरे युवा साथी ही है। हर सेक्टर में युवाओं के लिए नए अवसर खुल रहे हैं।
Veer Baal Diwas is being observed today to honor the martyrdom of Baba Fateh Singh and Baba Zorawar Singh, the Sahibzade of the 10th Sikh Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji. In January 2022, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that December 26th would be observed as Veer Baal Diwas, making it India's first national day dedicated to honoring the courage and sacrifices of children. The stories of these awardees are nothing short of awe and wonder. Maharashtra's 17-year-old Divyang innovator Arnav Anupriya Maharishi has developed an AI-based hand paralysis rehabilitation tool. Kerala's 11-year-old Mohammad Sidan P saved his two friends from electrocution, while Uttar Pradesh's Pooja developed a shaft dust separation machine for her village. DD India's Tanvi Taneja spoke to the winners at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi.
I have developed an artificial intelligence software application which can assess the fine motor movements, the finger-hand movements of paralyzed patients and cerebral palsy patients and assess how good they're performing the movement and give them immediate feedback in real time about how good the movement is being performed, how much they're lacking, how much is deficit, and how much improvement has occurred over a long period of time. So the major advantage of this tool, apart from giving immediate feedback, is also that the patient remains dedicated and does not lose hope while they're continuing their recovery.
Hi, I'm Diniti Desingu. I'm 15 years old and I'm a swimmer. I was India's youngest Olympian at Paris 2024 and India's youngest athlete at the 2023 Asian Games. Right now I'm 15, but I've been doing this for 7 years. So it's been a long journey. I've been doing this for half of my life. As we said, that India is trying to host an upcoming Commonwealth Games in 2030 as well as a future Olympic Games. So hopefully trying to win a gold medal in those competitions and make India proud.
मैं उत्तर प्रदेश के बाराबंकी जिले के एक छोटे से गांव डलेकपुरवा में मैं रहती हूं। मैंने बनाया था भूषा धूल पृथक्करण।
मेरी छात्रा यहां तक पहुंची है तो एक शिक्षक के लिए इससे अच्छा क्षण हो ही नहीं सकता कि आज मेरी पूजा को आज प्रधानमंत्री राष्ट्रीय बाल पुरस्कार से सम्मानित किया गया है। और सबसे खुशी की बात ये मैम कि हमारे स्कूल में नहीं, हमारे पूरे क्षेत्र में, हमारे प्रदेश में सब बच्चों में एक ललक सी पैदा हो गई है। सब बच्चे आगे बढ़ना चाह रहे हैं।
Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Friday inaugurated the Anti-Terror Conference 2025 in New Delhi, where he also launched India's first ever weapons database, the Lost, Looted and Recovered Firearm database, aimed at strengthening the fight against terrorism and organised crime. Developed by the National Investigation Agency, the database creates a centralized digital repository of government-owned weapons that have been lost, stolen, looted or recovered from state police forces and central armed police forces. Officials say it integrates inputs from all states and union territories and will help law enforcement agencies trace weapon origins, disrupt criminal and terror networks, improve coordination and prevent firearms from being misused in extremist or violent activities. Cold conditions have returned to Kashmir after a brief break, with temperatures dipping below freezing as clear skies prevail. As July Kalan sets in, residents are hoping that snowfall will bring relief from the dry cold and boost tourism. Here's a report.
Cold conditions prevailed in Kashmir for the second straight day on Friday after a brief respite, with minimum temperatures dropping below the freezing point due to clear night skies. Earlier this week, cold conditions had eased in Kashmir because of overcast night skies following snowfall and rain. Srinagar recorded a minimum temperature of -0.2 degrees Celsius on Friday morning. While residents continue to hope for snowfall in Srinagar, the meteorological department has predicted that it is unlikely before December 30th.
आने वाले दिनों में यही है कि एक OWD आ रहा है जो क्लाउडी करेगा। 29 तारीख से क्लाउडी हो जाएगा, लेकिन रेनफॉल 29 को नहीं होगा, लेकिन 30 तारीख में स्कैटर्ड प्लेस पे 50% प्लेस पे कश्मीर डिवीजन में खास तौर पर लाइट स्नोफॉल देखने को मिलेगा अपर रीचेस पे, और यहाँ पे रेनफॉल ही। और फिर 31 तारीख को भी ऐसा ही सिस्टम रहेगा, 19-20 का फर्क, लेकिन 1 तारीख को इसको पीक आवर आएगा। तो 1 तारीख के पूरे दिन अपर रीचेस पे मॉडरेट टू हेवी स्नोफॉल देखा जा सकता है।
Minimum temperatures are likely to rise after Saturday, according to the weather office.
नाइट टेम्परेचर अभी 2 दिन फिलहाल क्लाउडलेस रहेगा। आज भी क्लाउडलेस रहेगा, तो कल सुबह भी मतलब -3 -4 के बीच में ही श्रीनगर में टेम्परेचर देखा जा सकता है। लेकिन यही ऐसा ही -2 से नीचे नहीं जाएगा कम से कम 28 तारीख की सुबह तक। 29 तारीख से फिर चूंकि क्लाउडी हो जाएगा, फिर पॉजिटिव में चला जाएगा 2 तारीख तक।
The 40-day harshest phase of winter, known as Chile Kalan, which began on December 21, is now underway. The period typically brings severe hardship for residents, marked with heavy snowfall, sub-zero temperatures, and frozen water bodies. But despite the harsh conditions, locals are hoping for relief from the dry cold, which causes illnesses to rise, and also because tourist arrivals in the valley rise significantly only when it snows.
Still to come in this edition of DD India Live. United States launches strikes against Islamic State in Nigeria. Myanmar prepares for general elections to be held in 3 phases. And in sports, India to face Sri Lanka in the 3rd Women's T20 International in Thiruvananthapuram, hosts 2-0 ahead in the series.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy, always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. The United States carried out an airstrike against Islamic State terrorists in Nigeria on Christmas night. US President Trump, in a social media post, said that forces conducted deadly strikes against ISIS terrorists in northwestern Nigeria and vowed more such attacks if the terrorists keep killing Christians. Trump hailed US military for executing numerous perfect strikes. The strike comes after Trump started in late October, began warning that Christianity faces an existential threat in Nigeria and threatened to militarily intervene in the West African country over what he says is its failure to stop violence targeting Christian communities. The US military's Africa Command said the strike was carried out in Sokoto State at the direction of US President and Secretary of War in coordination with the Nigerian authorities. US Secretary of War Pete Hegseth thanked the Nigerian government for its support after the strikes. Hegseth also praised his department's readiness to take action in Nigeria. Meanwhile, Nigeria's foreign ministry said the strikes were carried out as part of ongoing security cooperation with the United States involving intelligence sharing and strategic coordination to target ISIS. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu vowed to protect religious freedom in a statement and letter published on social media on Christmas Day. US President Donald Trump will meet Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Sunday at Mar-a-Lago, according to media reports. Earlier in a post on X, Zelensky said that he plans to meet Trump in near future. The meeting will follow weeks of stepped-up diplomatic efforts to end the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Russian President Vladimir Putin has directed his foreign policy aide Yuri Yushakov to engage with members of the US administration after receiving American proposals on a possible Ukraine peace deal. The Kremlin said that Moscow and Washington have agreed to continue dialogue on the issue. Spokesman Dmitry Peskov confirmed the talks reflect ongoing diplomatic contacts between the two sides. Malaysia's former Prime Minister Najib Razak was found guilty on all charges of abuse of power and money laundering on Friday in the One Malaysia Development Berhad scandal. Najib had been charged with 4 counts of corruption and 21 counts of money laundering for receiving illegal transfers of about $544 million from 1MDB. The judge convicted the 72-year-old former leader on all 4 counts of abuse of power as well as on all 21 counts of money laundering involving around $554 million from the fund. The ex-PM could face maximum jail terms of between 15 and 20 years on each charge, as well as a fine of up to 5 times the value of the alleged misappropriations. Najib's lawyer said that he did not intend to request a stay of sentencing. Najib has been in prison since August 2022 after a conviction in an earlier case involving One Malaysia Development Berhad, which he co-founded in 2009 while he was the Prime Minister. Preparations are underway in Myanmar as the military-led administration moves ahead with a multi-phased general election. Voting will take place in 3 phases on 28th December, followed by January 11 and January 25, covering Myanmar's 330 townships. In Yangon, polling stations are being readied while supporters of the military-backed Union Solidarity and Development Party were seen campaigning on the streets ahead of Sunday's vote. Junta Chief Min Yong has previously acknowledged that the election will not be held nationwide, with only 6 parties contesting at the national level. Meanwhile, military government has yet to announce a timeline for vote counting or the declaration of results. One of the world's rarest wild cats has been sighted on Malaysia's Borneo Island. The endangered flat-headed cat was captured on camera in Sabah's Tag Kulap Forest Reserve in 2024. Wildlife officials say the sighting is a rare and hopeful sign for conservation efforts. An exhibition of ancient Mongolian women's jewelry has opened to the public in Ulaanbaatar, featuring more than 100 rare artifacts tracing the evolution of clothing and ornamentation. Elaborate headpieces made of gold, silver and rare metals reveal how jewelry reflected a woman's status, identity and ethnic background. The exhibition offers visitors a rare insight into Mongolia's rich cultural heritage and the traditions preserved across generations. Crane games are taking center stage in Japan's arcades, drawing crowds eager to win plush toys rather than play video games. In Tokyo's district, rows of claw machines now dominate arcade floors. The trend highlights a shift in Japan's gaming culture towards casual and prize-based entertainment. Time now for all the sports action. A dominant India will look to seal the 5-match series with another ruthless display when it takes on a low-on-confidence Sri Lanka in the 3rd Women's T20 International in Thiruvananthapuram on Friday. India were outstanding with both bat and the ball in the first and the second T20Is. Registering comprehensive 8-wicket and 7-wicket wins respectively to underline its overall dominance over Sri Lanka. It was India's 9th win in its last 11 T20 internationals against Sri Lanka, which last tasted victory against the hosts in July 2024 at Dambulla. Seven-time Africa Cup of Nations champions Egypt will face South Africa in the second match of the 2025 tournament on Friday. This is going to be an intense outing which will take place at the Adrar Stadium. Egypt secured a late win against Zimbabwe in the opening game of the African competition. They looked good in the attacking front, but still will need to work hard if they want to extend the winning run. The Egypt national football team have capable players and will be keen to secure a win. South Africa coming in after securing a win against Angola. They put in a good amount of effort which helped them bag 3 important points. Now the upcoming fixture of the AFCON 2025 is going to be a challenging one for the South Africa national football team. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but do share your thoughts with us on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. This is Munmun Bhattacharya from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.